Hey guys, Krootman here, and I've been waiting for this package for a long time. I opened it and laid it out. Thanks to Zach at 3dprintmaster.com. He sent me 3 of his brand new test bench kit. I helped him design it. It's basically an improvement over his last kit, which I am so thankful he sent me to. As you can see, it's what I use on my GPU bench, and I'm actually going to be swapping this out as well. So he sent me 3 of them with enough screws to get them screwed in. And there's a link down below for these products, and I have a code for 10% off. You can use that as well. Link down below. And I am super excited to share these with you. They're very fairly priced. They're very well priced, and honestly, the quality is fantastic. And then he also sent me this one. This one's fun. This is a power supply mount. He saw the power supply mount that I had on my PC in my shed, and he said that I should swap it out. And I agree with him because this looks way better than mine. So I'm probably going to rebuild that PC, and frankly what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to maybe mount the SSD on here, as it's not really mounted, it's just falling off. So I'm really excited about that. So without further ado, I want to go show you my test bench, and I want to show you my plans for it. And these were basically what I was waiting on to do massive upgrades on the test bench area. So without further ado, let's get to it. So here you can see the test area. The biggest change you'll notice is I took the box fan out, and I took the KS Zeros out. They're right here. I have another video coming. I'm actually selling 2 of them, and I have one video planned with the third one. So I'll be clearing these out in a minute. And then you can see these are 3 GPUs that I want to test and do some work on. And then that is another project for another day that I will be taking apart as well. But basically what I want to do now is I want to rebuild the test bench, and then I want to go over with you what I've done to the test bench and the changes that I've made to it. So the new 3D Printmaster case, look at how much room my bench has saved. Essentially, it's on my router, which I have the space, so why not? And now this is a card I borrowed from somebody. I'm going to do a video on it probably next week and then return it. But I just wanted to give you an idea, like, look at how much space I have. And then we've got the PDU, or the PMD up here. And I don't know if you noticed, but I did make I made a board just out of spare 2x4s I had from a project. Look at all these stickers people sent me. I need to get more stickers, so if you want to send me some more stickers, I would love to put them on this board. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put them on the board, and maybe what I'll try to do, hey, there's New England Crypto, is I'll like laminate it or something cool. Anyway, the monitors sit up here, and then I've got plugs, right? So these are 240 volt plugs, and then I've got a 120 volt plug labeled right here, so when I can test 120 volt, and there's no confusion as to which ones are 240 and which ones are 120. Now these are connected into 240 because it doesn't really matter. I do have plenty of plugs. They are all filled, but it's all right. This is for another project, but I do want to show you the difference between the stands. Now this one doesn't fit properly because of the way I had to screw the motherboard in. Like if you see, the motherboard doesn't screw in the outside. Now that's not 3D Printmaster's fault. That's more like the motherboard just kind of sucks, and then you have to put the power supply out here, and that's what I had to do with this one. But if you look at the way it's set up now, it doesn't take up any extra space and it's narrow. So essentially I'm going to probably be able to add another bench right here, and I'll just be able to run it over here, or I can just connect directly into the one PCIe slot, and I'll use it for BIOS updating or for whatever I need. So I'm going to assemble the second one in a minute, but it's just nice to see how much space you save. And this is actually from his old bench, where you can buy this separately too. And I think he has extension ones that are longer, which is great because sometimes you don't want to connect it directly to the motherboard, you just want to connect it via PCIe. So that's really good too. So this was the second bench I had. I took it off an old Dell motherboard. I'm really happy with the way this testing area is coming out now. I'm really glad I'm getting back to live blogging because I miss doing these kind of videos. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this and we're going to take it apart and we're going to turn it into that, and we're going to use this as like a BIOS updating station or whatever I need it to be, because frankly I have the room, so why not take advantage of it? And these parts are actually worthless. I do need to find a Dell fan. I'm going to go reach out to my recycling buddy so I don't have to keep smashing F1 whenever I boot this thing. So I'll be right back. Alright, so here's my test bench. You can see I actually have a KS0 on, but that's for another project in the future. But here are the benches. The first one is a Dell random motherboard thing I have that I am going to use as like a BIOS flasher. Fix BIOSes up. It's amazing. I never thought I was going to set this up again because it was on an old mining frame. This is just a D-Link. I got this thing for I think 10 bucks from my buddy who owns a recycling shop, and it has fans in it, and it's great, and it won't get hot. But this will be used just for BIOS flashing, whatever. I didn't think I would use it again, but the parts are basically worthless, and it'll be useful. You put the GPUs right on here, as you've seen before. This is my test bench. It's using an old AMD FX GPU and a 600 watt PSU, which I will eventually power the GPUs on this sometimes. Currently, they're on a server power supply. This is a this is a CMP 100-210 that I'm about to film some content on. And basically you can see that I put screws on here and I wrapped them with electrical tape so I could put the PMD on here, and it is on a it's on a server power supply with the with everything going into the PMD and on the riser so I can get the perfect power draw. And this is just a fan hub, which is actually powering a fan for this and that. But anyway, it's really cool. I've got a 240 volt PDU right there, which is nice. And then I have a 120 right here. And I have all of this space to work on projects. And I've got this little stand that I've built, which is pretty sweet. It's just to hold my monitors. I've got two old crappy monitors that have screen problems that I just use. And the sweet part is they just get wrapped around this so I can store the cables, but they all reach over here to do what I need them to do. And then I can just wrap them in here. I'm really big on efficiency and just cleanliness, because like when you have a test area that's messy, you never want to do anything. But at the same point, I need to put projects on it too. Right here, like look at all this space I've got. So much space to do stuff. And I'm really happy about that. And then this is my like I said before, this is my crypto wallet PC for like the more advanced cryptos. I'm probably gonna move everything to a Tangent, so maybe I'll get rid of this. But for now, it's useful. I like it. And then this is my VM for basically everything that's untrustworthy. And I do some testing and some random crap on this. It has a Ryzen 3400G. I think it's got like 64 gigs of RAM, just because it was it was all free. Like this system was essentially free. I got it in a deal. I literally changed nothing. It's got a 550 power supply. The only thing I did was it didn't have a CPU in it, and I had a Ryzen 3400G that I paid 17 bucks for. So I put that in. I put some random hard drives in it that I had, and I think I have a 1 terabyte NVMe that came in it. And it's just using a stock cooler. And then I've got like an old Dell monitor from who knows when that just sits on top of there, which was free, by the way. Free stuff is good stuff. You want to repurpose and save from e-waste. So here's so this is like, I just use it for whatever. VM machine basically. And then up here is spare parts. I've got PDU cables. I've got a spare keyboard. These are all the power supplies that I've decided to keep. Those are a big stack of RX 470s that I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. Probably make content. Some random server fans, case fans. These are breakout boards. These are all my parallel miner power supplies. I never sold them when I transitioned off open air frames. This is my buddy's open air frame. Anyway, but this is where I just keep the spare parts that I'm keeping. I sold a bunch of stuff to Brandon Coin that I didn't need, but I decided I want to keep all this. And as long as this is in full, I don't mind saving some of this. But I don't like to keep spare parts unless I think I'm going to need them. But so there's a balance between hoarding parts and keeping parts. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I was really excited to share with you my new testing area and where I keep my parts. I think it's really, really important to be super organized. Again, thank you to 3D Printmaster for these. These are game changing. I saved so much space. My test benches were literally like from here all the way to here, and I barely had any room to work on any projects. I think you're going to see a lot more of this in the future, and it wouldn't have been possible without him. I'm trying to lower the humidity. It was at like 90 when I had the garage open for a little bit, and I'm hoping that this running mining Kapow, burning a bunch of power, and this KS0 mining will be enough to lower the humidity in this garage because it's too much to bear. But like I said before, thanks again to 3D Print Master for these. These are incredible benches. I mean, just look at how amazing they look. And you can use them for basically anything you want. They just save so much space. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Get your test areas clean and get a VMPC. Krootman is out.